During Bible studies yesterday, a teenager raised a question that was very intelligent. He asked, why did God send a message to Mary and not to Joseph? Then he also asked, in regards to Abraham and Zachariah, the father of John the Baptist, that messages were sent to them and not their wives. But Mary and the mother of Samson were given direct messages. And I smiled at the person, and I really encourage him to keep on reading the Word of God, because it shows that his readings has been awakening his consciousness. Then, coming to the question, actually, there's a reason why God sent a message through Angel Gabriel to Mary and not directly to Joseph. Not minding that the time, the century that Mary lived was very, very dangerous for women. In those centuries, being a virgin is well celebrated. In those centuries, showing that you are a virgin at the first night you spent with your husband is very applauded. And in those centuries, death penalty can face any girl who disappoints the fiancé or the family she came from. So nonetheless, God knew all those things, but still went ahead and sent his message to Mary. And immediately Mary accepted, may it be done to me according to your words. And it took place immediately. There's a reason. But I'm not going to talk about that reason. What I'm going to talk about now is why the message was given to Mary and not the husband, and why the message was given to these two men, Abraham and Zachariah, and not to their wives. But Mary and the mother of Samson, we are giving direct messages. When you talk about God and the way he does his things, you will know that the way he looks at things, the way he looks at things is not the way we human look at things. We judge by what we see. We judge by outward appearance, but God doesn't judge like that. And going by that, you will understand that these two women who got their message directly from angels of God or from God and not from their husbands, have different, assignments on this earth. And that assignment is to bring forth a holy person whose work is to do exactly what God wants them to do. In the case of Mary is an exceptional, because she is the one who will carry that child in her 9 months. And I said it's exceptional because the child we are talking about here is the Son of God, the second personality in God. So it is not, it is not a small deal at all. And this person has to maintain so many things, and those things are what God saw and approached her. And immediately she accepted, and the deal was sealed. And God knew why he approached her without telling the husband. The husband only got to know when, there are signs, there are physically signs to show that she was carrying a baby. Then when you talk about the mother of Samson, it's also the same thing. There are things she was supposed not to do during the pregnancy. And there are also things that the child was not supposed to do when giving birth to. Mary was not given any instructions as to what to do with the child, or what the child will eat, or what the child will not eat, because the child is a strong personality. The child is a special personality. The child is God the Son himself. The child knows what to do and what not to do. So there was no extra instruction laid down for Jesus. But the only instruction that was laid down for Mary was about the name to be given to that child. Then, when you talk about Abraham and talk about Zachariah, then you will understand they also carry a different assignment. Zachariah, the honor was given to him because he was a high priest. Abraham, the honor was given to him because he had an agreement with God, a covenant with God, because God single-handedly picked him out from his clan, out from his kinsmen, out from his family, to start afresh somewhere else. So you now understand the difference. Abraham had a personal relationship with God. Abraham had a commitment with God. Abraham had a sort of a covenant with God. So that was why Abraham received direct instruction, direct information about a child that will be born to him in his old age. Zachariah received his own because he was, in those days and centuries, the what? The high priest. So when you understand all those things, then you will know that God has a reason for doing anything he does. He has a reason for choosing a particular person to be the message bearer. He has a reason for choosing this particular person to be the whistle blower of our time. He has a reason for choosing a particular person to be a special person. He has a reason. And what is there for us is just to trust him blindly like a child. And that was why Jesus made example with a child that the kingdom of heaven is for the people who are like what? The children, because of what? Humility, because of what? Trust. When you know that, then you know whichever position you are in the vineyard of God is the position God gave to you because of your ability, because God sees more than you. He knows you inside out. He knows your future. He knows your past. He knows what will happen even now that you're listening to me. And when it comes to the information or the message given to Mary, it carries weight. It carries a lot of responsibilities, because the responsibilities she carried it until that her child came to be, until Jesus grew up, until Jesus died, until Jesus ascended into heaven. She went on carrying it even after the ascension of Jesus Christ, because when you read the Bible, you also understand that she was always in the midst of the apostles, the disciples, encouraging them, doing everything together with them. So every messages or every method or ways that God prefer to choose a person or to single out a person to work for him should be respected, no matter how you feel about it. It was no mark of disrespect that Mary was first of all asked, and Joseph got to know about it in a dream. It was no act of disrespect. God was not trying to show his supremacy. God was not trying to say to show that we belong to him. He can do with us whatever he wishes. No, if that were so, he wouldn't have asked Mary. He wouldn't have asked Mary. He would have gone ahead and do whatever he wanted. He did it because he is the God of liberty. He is the God of free and fair. He gives us choice. He gives us the freedom. He gives us the opportunity to be whoever we want to be. But always remember, whichever one you choose, whichever one you choose carries what? A consequence. So the message that came to Mary without a pure information on the husband was not a mark of disrespect, but rather was a mark of responsibility and duties, because the child that will be in that womb need a sort of an environment that's a pure body, a pure mind, a body without sin. And Mary was found worthy. And that was why she was told exactly who will be in her womb. Without being told or without being, given a table of lists of what to do and what not to do, she knows what was required from her or of her. So, and I ask you, do you know what God required of you? Do you know your responsibility here on earth? You are not just here because you were accidentally born as a result of your mom and your dad meeting themselves. No, you were born for a reason. If you think you were here as a result of an accident, then ask those married couples who had no child. You were not an accident. You are here for a reason. Find out the reason why you are here and live to God's will. May God bless you.